Legacy of books. Exciting has been the journey of writing so far. The journey that is as fascinating as the evolution of humankind itself. With the gradual progression in man's endeavours, his penchant for writing has also been evolving, upgrading, and preserving through ages. Going by the chronology, first comes the Indus-Sarasvati Writings. Indus-Sarasvati civilization is said to be the largest civilization in the ancient world that developed in the Indus Valley of India over 12,000 years ago. The Indus and Sarasvati river valleys of Bharatvarsha, present India and Pakistan, were the home to the ancient civilization of Indus-Sarasvati. Studies say that the Indus-Sarasvati culture tradition represents the beginnings of the Indian civilization. This tradition has been traced back to about 7000 BC in remains that have been uncovered in Mehrgarh and other sites. Its first urban phase was during the Harappan period of 2600 to 1900 BC. The writings used in this phase has hitherto been called the Indus writing or Saraswati writing. This is followed by what is called Brahmi script writings. The Indus-Sarasvati tradition continued in a state of decline until a second urbanization began in the Ganga-Yamuna valley around 900 BC. The earliest surviving records of this culture are in Brahmi script. Interestingly, the Brahmi script as seen in the earliest surviving records was systematic, reflecting the theories of Indian grammarians. Later came the Kharosthi script writings. Kharosthi script was used in Mauryan India, mainly in the northwest India and Central Asia for a few centuries. It is believed that Kharosthi was derived from the Aramaic script and adapted to the sounds of Indo-Aryan under the apparent influence of Brahmi. Like Aramaic, it was written from right to left. Much later, the growth of modern-day writings started. Modern-day writing, in fact, started back in the 3rd century BC as the clay tablet to the 21st century digital tablets has no doubt co-traveled on the journey together with human beings. What had started as a practice well known among the Sumerians, Babylonians, Akkadians and Assyrians, the clay tablet books made of silt which was dried hard, and before it was too hard, a stylus, the version of the modern pen that was used to inscribe texts or codes, moved to papyrus roll books. The Greeks, Romans and the Egyptians used it widely. With the passage of time, these strips of leaves of papyrus were set at right angles and stitched to one another to elongate it to the extent of a long sheet. This can technically be called the ancestor of the modern books. The ancient playwrights of these languages have left many remarkable writings. It may be said that the use of papyrus rolls as books and scriptures spread widely across geographies for various reasons: religious, political, social, and trade. This saw a phenomenal change with the invention of the codex, which in a way revolutionized the writing process altogether. Codex, in fact, was papyrus rolled and tied together, folded and bound on a side. Such an arrangement gave more flexibility and space for writing. Now, one could write on both sides of these leaves. This invention enabled the Gospel of Matthew and the Bible to soon become popular in the Christian world. While the Christian world still preferred the codex, the Egyptians used vellum and parchments produced from dried animal skins to write. Much later, the first printed books came as block printing. This was introduced in Germany by Gutenberg in the 1440s and was the 42-line version and the 36-line version Bibles. This was a significant landmark in the history of world books as it skyrocketed the number of printed books in the European world from over 1,000 to 9 million within 50 years. The printed book's journey reached its height with the invention of the typewriter, and in 1876, Mark Twain published his first typed book, The Adventures of Tom Sawyer. The modern method of publishing thrived from the 19th century and revolutionized the concept of books. Procuring paperbacks became easier. Human society has indeed reaped the results of their toil in reinventing and simplifying the form of books. While this story of book journey is being narrated, the books are still on their way to evolution. After the era of e-books and the audiobooks, which are the mark of the 21st century, many more modern form of books are yet in their conceptualization stage. At Books 33, our vision is to make book reading a lifelong loyal friend and a teaching learning tool for personal and professional growth. Our mission is to provide an author-friendly and hassle-free platform to publish, promote, and position books in a reader-centric and innovative approach. We have set out to accomplish this with the robust 5 pillars of our core values. Number 1. Sustainable innovation publishing. Number 2. Collaborative promotional approach. Number 3. Creative thinking. Number 4. Upholding Indian ethos in literature, art, and culture. Number 5. Ethical and global mindset.